fast the T15 is, and then get an idea that the T16 is actually faster because it's twin miniature V8 sounding like an F1 car. Just tell me when you're... Yeah.
No harm, no foul. Alright.
You're in?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 right long, opens over crest 30, flat right, and flat left over crest 120, 6 left over crest, very long, 60, 6 left over jump, opens long. 80,
once you lose control, it's so hard to regain control. Oh god, I'm sideways.
6 right over crest, 50. Slow, 6 left 30, turn, hairpin right, around Bales. 50.
I haven't driven this car in a little bit, so...
6 left, opens 30, 4 left.
Oh, do you have a steering wheel or what?
40,
I'm using my
5
controller.
left over
I'm about to
crest.
buy a steering wheel because I have one for the computer. I'm actually going to switch cars real quick because I want to show you the Audi too, because the Audi was the closest competitor to this with the 5-cylinder. But I had one for the computer when I used to play on computer, but it's not compatible with the PlayStation. So you know what? You want to talk about retardedly fucking fast acceleration? We're gonna really quick go to hell, and I mean that literally. There's a place in the world called Hell. It is over in Norway. We're gonna go ahead and just go R6 or RX Supercross or Rallycross Supercars. And yeah, this is acceleration at its finest. Like 600 horsepower. I think it's nearly like for 600 horsepower, like 2,000. What do you call it? 2,000 foot-pounds of torque. And I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna put a practice run on real quick. Just these cars are fast, like, and they drift like crazy too. This is the same type of cars that Ken Block uses the most of.
Use the joke lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Yeah, I know about the Joker app. I've played this
Make the
fucking...
most of practice. Get some joke laps in too, so we can see the time difference. Go, go, go.
I fucked that up because I'm not used to third person. I always drive in first. This is like a modern Peugeot, basically. Oh, I took it a little too early there, but... I'll try to do a third-person drift for you so you can see what I mean. Oh, I'm gonna use this corner here. Up here. I'm not even e-braking, that's just me giving it throttle there.
That was your best lap.
Fun fact, did you know that you can legally buy a car like this and drive it on the road? Because all rally cars are required to be street legal.
Yep.
And yep, that is fucking retard speed. But yeah, rally's nice. There's another fun fact about these. Oh yeah, Ford, like the Ford Focus rally cars and all that. Did you know that if you gave Ford, it's actually really expensive, like more expensive than a Ford GT. Like it's like $750,000. If you give them that money though, they will build you to spec a modern rally car. Like not Rally 5, but like like the tie-in like World WRC World Rally Championship car spec, and you can buy that like straight from the dealership. That's something that most people don't actually know that you can do, because you can just do that. If you'll give them the money, they will do it for you. There's a lot of weird things about Rally. That's what I find so interesting about it, because since it's required to be a production car, they kind of have to have that set up where that you can buy them from the company, and so you can order cars like this from Ford, Lotus, or not Lotus, Ford, Peugeot. I would say Lancia, but Lancia is like a complete trashed out company now. They're kind of like they're kind of they're a joke company at this point. They bankrupt themselves to the point where they can only afford to produce one car, and I'm not even kidding. They make one car that is one of the cheapest cars in the world right now because of how shit it is. But things like that you can, and Subaru, like things like that you can pay them and they're required to build you the car because it's supposed to be a car you can buy. And if Audi produced, you used to actually be able to buy literally this car as is out of a dealership, because when they produced Group B cars, they were produced in like a very small number. Hold on.
6 left, extra long, opens over crests.
They were produced in a tiny number.
Opens over jumps to caution, or right, and
this is a 5-cylinder, by the way.
3 left long, tightens toe. 30, 60.
But anyways, you were the Audi, like all Group B cars, the ones that you see in the race, they were just determined to win races. They were supercars. And so all the ones you see in race were legit production models. Nothing was modified about them because that's how they built the car off the assembly line. Their goal was to make it. You were only required to build 400 of these cars versus previous rally forums where it was up in like 2,000 to 4,000 cars. So 400... they would build 400 of these cars, stick them out in lots, and they'd be so expensive nobody would buy them. And so when they would crash a car, they would just go grab one off the lot and throw it back in rally. And that happened all the time. And that was, Group B was a fucking crazy time. Like, for instance, Lancia's 037, like the fucking Group B monster. That thing was practically a Lamborghini for rally. Like, that's how serious that car was. And sadly, I don't think they have it in this game. But they would literally produce... they actually cheated. I don't know if I told you about that story. I'm not going to get into details. But they kind of tricked them. And so they basically only produced half the actual number. And they produced 200 instead of the actual 400. And yeah, they ended up getting by with that. But those 200, only 3 cars were used in rally, and the other set of those, like, 197 cars were actually on store lots, ready to sell, and people actually bought them in Italy, like rich tycoon kind of people bought them. So, kind of funny to think that at one point in time, not that long ago, just in the 80s, there were cars that were pushing this much power sitting in car lots for sale that the exact same specification was sitting in a rally course somewhere in the world going flat out. And That's one of the crazy facts about Group B. This is literally all I own right now because I haven't spent much time actually trying in races. Yeah, you want to see what I meant by me screwing up? I can just, yep, I did great here. It makes me so happy to see that that there are. I can't go back to it. Hold on, let me just do all repairs, replace. Yeah, confirm. I want to go. I don't want to do any of that. Oh, look, I got another engine upgrade. Apply. I don't care about any of that because I'm not going to keep that car. As soon as I can afford a better car, I'm not using the freaking Lancia anymore. This is the one I'm using, a freaking old Lancia. And I don't want to use the old front-wheel drive Lancia. I mean, it's only 115 horsepower. I kind of want to go with something more. I mean, I could have gone worse. I could have gone with a Mini Cooper. But no, I'm gonna save up, and I actually have that car. Yeah, I have that one. It's actually not showing up on here, but I have that one, and it is like hard as hell to drive. Where's it at? Where's the first? Right there. I'm gonna like go for like Group B. I'm just gonna jump straight up the list. Oh yeah, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there are turbo and supercharged cars because a lot of people didn't know that. But Lancia did that with the Delta S4, and so it's kind of funny because the supercharger was always kicked on. If you didn't know that, superchargers are never kicked on, but they don't produce half as much as a turbo does. So it's already got a bunch of push from that supercharger. But when the turbo kicks in, that's when this thing goes like stupidly crazy and almost impossible to control. Considering it's got such a...
You want to see the game that I play?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Hold on, I got... Oh, wow. Are you on that one? Let's just go ahead and hit that button.